All right, so for my heart video, I'm going to start with the direction of the blood flow and how that process goes. So, and trying to name the structures along the way. So, beginning as a little red blood cell, you're going to begin in the superior vena cava or the inferior vena cava. After that, you will then pass into the right atrium. From the right atrium, you'll pass through the tricuspid valve into the right ventricle. Through the right ventricle, you will then pass up into the pulmonary semilunar valve. Through the pulmonary semilunar valve, you'll then rise up through the pulmonary trunk into the pulmonary artery that will then leave, go to the lungs, become oxygenated, and come back. And you will then come back through the pulmonary veins right here. From the pulmonary veins, you'll enter into the left atrium. The left atrium, you will then go through the bicuspid valve into the right ventricle, or into the left ventricle. From the left ventricle, you will rise up through there into the arterial semipulmonary or semilunar valve. And from the arterial semilunar valve, you will then come up through the ascending aorta, through the aortic arch, and then descending aorta, and then be spread to the various tissues of the body. For these branches up here, we're going to have the brachiocephalic, we'll have the left common carotid, and then right here we'll have the left subclavian arteries dropped onto the valves. So then kind of just to start naming some of the tissues or the structures I may have missed. So right here is going to be the ligamentum arteriosum. And then I guess I'll just kind of start with the outside of the heart for the structures. So beginning with this whole outside layer is going to be the epicardium. And then on the surface of the heart here, so from the apex to the base, this big blue one right here is going to be the great coronary artery, or the great cardiac vein, excuse me. This blue one's going to be the great cardiac vein. We'll have the left coronary artery right here. We'll have the circumflex artery right there. So the left coronary artery kind of goes up into it. You can't fully see it all the way, and then it comes and branches down into the anterior descending artery, or the anterior interventricular, or the widowmaker. This yellow part here is going to be the interventricular sulcus. Yellow here around is going to be the coronary sulcus. This artery right here is going to be, let's see, the right coronary artery. Right coronary artery then wraps around towards the back of the heart. So we're still on the right side of the heart right here. We'll have the marginal artery right here. We'll have the small cardiac vein. And then this large blue one in the middle, we're going to have the great cardiac, or the middle cardiac vein on the back of the heart. This red one right here will be the posterior descending artery, or the posterior interventricular. This larger structure right here is going to be the coronary sinus. The coronary sinus receives, it gets drained into from the middle cardiac vein, the small cardiac vein, and the greater cardiac vein. Let's see if I'm missing anything. All right, I think it's it for the kind of the blood flow on top of it. So let's put this back on, remove this. So kind of already listed it in the blood flow part, but again, superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, ascending aorta, aortic arch, pulmonary trunk, pulmonary artery, pulmonary veins, and then, yeah, ligamentum arteriosum. So now we'll just use this part now. So again, going back to right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle. So we're going to have the tricuspid valve, bicuspid valve, pulmonary semilunar valve, arterial semilunar valve. In here, it's kind of hard to see, but right about there, we're going to have the fossa ovalis, which used to be a structure that was used more in fetus before we had fully developed lungs, because you didn't need the pulmonary aspect of this because the blood didn't have to go to your lungs because they weren't there. I'm going to remove the tricuspid valve here. So kind of in the atriums here, we're going to have the pectinate muscles. On the cord-like parts of the valves here, we'll have the chordae tendineae. And then this more squishy part here in the middle, the rough part, is going to be the trabeculae carneae. Down here, like these nipple-like structures, are going to be the papillary muscles. Here we're going to have the interventricular septum, or Yeah, or just the separating part here in the middle. Let's see. Miss anything? Okay, so yeah, back to layers. So again, outside was epicardium. This middle layer is going to be the myocardium, and then if you get deeper, kind of in the inside walls here, we're going to get the endocardium. I think that covers it all. All right, perfect. Thank you.